Shalom, and welcome back to the Cepher Daily Readings. Thank you so much for stopping by to follow along. I am Trish. All praise and glory to the Most High Yah in the name of the Son, Yahusha HaMashiach. Thank you for this time. Thank you for your mercy and for your grace, Father. May this be a blessing to you, and may it honor and glorify our Father, the Creator. We are in Jubilees, Yovheliym, chapter 40. And in those days Pharaoh dreamed 2 dreams in one night concerning a famine which was to be in all the land. And he awoke from his sleep and called all the interpreters of dreams that were in Mitzrayim, and magicians, and told them his 2 dreams, and they were not able to declare them. And then the chief butler remembered Yosef, and spoke of him to the king, and he brought him forth from the prison. And he told his 2 dreams before him. And he said before Pharaoh that his 2 dreams were one. And he said unto him, 7 years shall come in which there shall be plenty over all the land of Mitzrayim. And after those 7 years a famine, such a famine as has not been in all the land. And now let Pharaoh appoint overseers in all the land of Mitzrayim, and let them store up food in every city throughout the days of the years of plenty. And there will be food for the 7 years of famine, and the land will not perish through the famine, for it will be very severe. And Yahuwah gave Yosef favor and mercy in the eyes of Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, We shall not find such a wise and discreet man as this man, for the Ruach Yahuwah is with him. And he appointed him the second in all his kingdom, and gave him authority over all Mitzrayim, and caused him to ride in the second chariot of Pharaoh. And he clothed him with byssus garments, and he put a gold chain upon his neck. And a herald proclaimed before him, El wa abiri, and placed a ring on his hand, and made him ruler over all his house, and magnified him, and said unto him, Only on the throne shall I be greater than you. And Yosef ruled over all the land of Mitzrayim, and all the princes of Pharaoh, and all his servants, and all who did the king's business loved him. For he walked in uprightness, for he was without pride and arrogance. And he had no respect of persons, and did not accept gifts. But he judged in uprightness all the people of the land. And the land of Mitzrayim was at peace before Pharaoh because of Yosef, for Yahuwah was with him, and gave him favor and mercy for all his generations before all those who knew him, and those who heard concerning him. And Pharaoh's kingdom was well ordered, and there was no Satan and no evil person therein. And the king called Yosef's name Sophonath Panich, and gave Yosef to be his woman, the daughter of Potiphar, the daughter of the priest of On, the chief cook. And on the day that Yosef stood before Pharaoh, he was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh. And in that year Yitzhak died. And it came to pass, as Yosef had said in the interpretation of his 2 dreams, according as he had said it, there were 7 years of plenty over all the land of Mitzrayim. And the land of Mitzrayim abundantly produced, one measure producing 1,800 measures. And Yosef gathered food into every city until they were full of grain, until they could no longer count and measure it for its multitude. Chapter 41. And in the 45th Jubilee, in the 2nd week, and in the 2nd year, Yahudah took for his firstborn a woman from the daughters of Aram, named Tamar. But he hated and did not lie with her, because his mother was of the daughters of Canaan, and he wished to take him a woman of the kinsfolk of his mother. But Yahudah his father would not permit him. And this the firstborn of Yahudah, was wicked, and Yahudah slew him. And Yahudah said unto Onan his brother, Go in unto your brother's woman, and perform the duty of a man's brother unto her, and raise up seed unto your brother. And Onan knew that the seed would not be his, but his brother's only. And he went into the house of his brother's woman, and split the seed on the ground. And he was wicked in the eyes of Yahuwah, and he slew him. And Yahudah said unto Tamar, his daughter-in-law, Remain in your father's house as a widow, till Shelach, my son, be grown up, and I shall give you to him to be his woman. And he grew up, but Bethuel, the woman of Yehuda, did not permit her son Shelach to marry. And Bethuel, the woman of Yehuda, died in the 5th year of this week. And in the 6th year Yehuda went up to shear his sheep at Timnah. And they told Tamar, Behold, your father-in-law goes up to Timnah to shear his sheep. And she put off her widow's clothes, and put on a veil, and adorned herself, and sat in the gate adjoining the way to Timnah. And as Yehuda was going along, he found her, and thought her to be a harlot. And he said unto her, Let me come in unto you. And she said unto him, Come in. And he went in. And she said unto him, Give me my hire. And he said unto her, I have nothing in my hand, save my ring that is on my finger, and my necklace, and my staff which is in my hand. And she said unto him, Give them to me until you do send me my hire. And he said unto her, I will send unto you a kid of the goats. And he gave them to her, and she conceived by him. And Yehuda went unto his sheep, and she went to her father's house. And Yehuda sent a kid of the goats by the hand of his shepherd, and Adulami. And he found her not. And he asked the people of the place, saying, Where is the harlot who was here? And they said unto him, There is no harlot here with us. And he returned and informed him, and said unto him that he had not found her. I asked the people of the place, and they said unto me, There is no harlot here. And he said, Let her keep them, lest we become a cause of derision. And when she had completed 3 months, it was manifest that she was with child. And they told Yehuda, saying, Behold, Tamar, your daughter-in-law, is with child by whoredom. And Yehuda went to the house of her father, and said unto her father and her brothers, Bring her forth, and let them burn her, for she has wrought uncleanness in Yasharel. And it came to pass, when they brought her forth to burn her, that she sent to her father-in-law the ring, and the necklace, and the staff, saying, Discern whose are these, for by him am I with child. And Yehuda acknowledged and said, Tamar is more righteous than I am, and therefore let them burn her not. And for that reason she was not given to Shelach, and he did not again approach her. And after that she bore 2 sons, Peretz and Zerach, in the 7th year of this 2nd week. And thereupon the 7 years of fruitfulness were accomplished, of which Joseph spoke to Pharaoh. And Yehuda acknowledged that the deed which he had done was evil, for he had lain with his daughter-in-law, and he esteemed it hateful in his eyes. And he acknowledged that he had transgressed and gone astray, for he had uncovered the skirt of his son. And he began to lament and to supplicate before Yahuwah because of his transgression. And we told him in a dream that it was forgiven him because he supplicated earnestly and lamented, and did not again commit it. And he received forgiveness because he turned from his sin and from his ignorance. For he transgressed greatly before our Elohim. And everyone that acts thus, everyone who lies with his mother-in-law, let them burn him with fire, that he may burn therein. For there is uncleanness and pollution upon them. With fire let them burn them. And do you command the children of Yasharel that there be no uncleanness amongst them? For everyone who lies with his daughter-in-law or with his mother-in-law has wrought uncleanness. With fire let them burn the man who has lain with her, and likewise the woman, and he will turn away wrath and punishment from Yasharel. And unto Yehuda we said that his 2 sons had not lain with her, and for this reason his seed was established for a 2nd generation, and would not be rooted out. For in singleness of eye he had gone and sought for punishment, namely, according to the judgment of Abraham, which he had commanded his sons. Yehuda had sought to burn her with fire. Chapter 42. And in the 1st year of the 3rd week of the 45th Jubilee, the famine began to come into the land, and the rain refused to be given to the earth, for none whatsoever fell. And the earth grew barren. But in the land of Mitzrayim there was food, for Yosef had gathered the seed of the land in the 7 years of plenty and had preserved it. And Mitzrayim came to Yosef that he might give them food. And he opened the storehouses where was the grain of the first year, and he sold it to the people of the land for gold. And Yaakov heard that there was food in Mitzrayim, and he sent his 10 sons that they should procure food for him in Mitzrayim. But Binyamin he did not send, and arrived among those that went there. And Yosef recognized them, but they did not recognize him. And he spoke unto them, and questioned them. And he said unto them, Are you not spies? And have you not come to explore the approaches of the land? And he put them in ward, and after that he set them free again, and detained Shimon alone, and sent off his 9 brothers. And he filled their sacks with grain, and he put their gold in their sacks, and they did not know. And he commanded them to bring their younger brother, for they had told him their father was living, and their younger brother. And they went up from the land of Mitzrayim, and they came to the land of Canaan, and they told their father all that had befallen them, and how the Adoni of the country had spoken roughly to them, and had seized Shimon till they should bring Binyamin. And Yaakov said, Me have you bereaved of my children. Yosef is not, and Shimon also is not, and you will take Binyamin away? On me has your wickedness come. And he said, My son will not go down with you, lest perchance he falls sick. For their mother gave birth to 2 sons, and one has perished. And this one also you will take from me? If perchance he took a fever on the road, you would bring down my old age with sorrow unto death. For he saw that their money had been returned to every man in his sack, and for this reason he feared to send him. And the famine increased and became sore in the land of Canaan, and in all lands save in the land of Mitzrayim. For many of the children of the Mitzrayim had stored up their seed for food from the time when they saw Yosef gathering seed together and putting it in storehouses, and preserving it for the years of famine. And the people of Mitzrayim fed themselves thereon during the first year of their famine. But when Yasharel saw that the famine was very sore in the land, and that there was no deliverance, he said unto his sons, Go again, and procure food for us that we die not. And they said, We shall not go, unless our youngest brother goes with us. We shall not go. And Yasharel saw that if he did not send him with them, they should all perish by reason of the famine. And Reuben said, Give him into my hand, and if I do not bring him back to you, slay my 2 sons instead of his soul. And he said unto him, He shall not go with you. And Yehudah came near and said, Send him with me, and if I do not bring him back to you, let me bear the blame before you all the days of my life. And he sent him with them in the 2nd year of this week on the 1st day of the month. And they came to the land of Mitzrayim with all those who went, and they had presents in their hands, stacte and almonds, and terebinth, nuts and pure honey. And they went and stood before Yosef, and he said Binyamin his brother, and he saw Binyamin his brother, and he knew him, and said unto them, Is this your youngest brother? And they said unto him, It is he. And he said, Yahuwah be gracious to you, my son. And he sent him into his house, and he brought forth Shimon unto them, and he made a feast for them. And they presented to him the gift which they had brought in their hands. And they ate before him, and he gave them all a portion. But the portion of Binyamin was 7 times larger than that of any of theirs. And they ate and drank and arose and remained with their asses. And Yosef devised a plan whereby he might learn their thoughts as to whether thoughts of peace prevailed amongst them. And he said to the steward who was over his house, Fill all their sacks with food, and return their money unto them into their vessels, and my cup, the silver cup, out of which I drink. Put it in the sack of the youngest, and send them away. Chapter 43. And he did as Yosef had told him, and filled all their sacks for them with food, and put their money in their sacks. and put the cup in Benjamin's sack. And early in the morning they departed, and it came to pass that, when they had gone from thence, Joseph said unto the steward of his house, Pursue them, run and seize them, saying, For good you have requited me with evil. You have stolen from me the silver cup out of which my Adonai drinks. And bring back to me their youngest brother, and fetch him quickly before I go forth to my seat of judgment. And he ran after them, and said unto them according to these words. And they said unto him, Far be it that your servants should do this thing, and steal from the house of your Adonai and any utensil, and the money also which we found in our sacks the first time we your servants brought back from the land of Canaan. How then should we steal any utensil? Behold, here are we, and our sacks, search, and wherever you find the cup in the sack of any man amongst us, let him be slain, and we and our asses will serve your Adonai. And he said unto them, Not so, the man with whom I find, him only shall I take as a servant, and you shall return in peace unto your house. And as he was searching in their vessels, beginning with the eldest and ending with the youngest, it was found in Benjamin's sack. And they rent their garments, and laded their asses, and returned to the city, and came to the house of Joseph. And they all bowed themselves on their faces to the ground before him. And Joseph said unto them, You have done evil. And they said, What shall we say? And how shall we defend ourselves? Our Adonai has discovered the transgression of his servants. Behold, we are the servants of our Adonai, and our asses also. And Joseph said unto them, I too fear Yahuwah. As for you, go you to your homes, and let your brother be my servant, for you have done evil. Know you not that a man delights in his cup as I with this cup? And yet you have stolen it from me. And Yahudah said, O Adonai, let your servant, I pray you, speak a word in my Adonai's ear. 2 brothers did your servant's mother bear to our father. One went away, and was lost, and has not been found. And he alone is left of his mother. And your servant our father loves him, and his life also is bound up with the life of this lad. And it will come to pass, when we go to your servant our father, and the lad is not with us, that he will die. And we shall bring down our father with sorrow unto death. Now rather let me, your servant, abide instead of the boy, as a bondsman unto my Adonai, and let the lad go with his brethren. For I became surety for him at the hand of your servant our father. And if I do not bring him back, your servant will hear the blame to our fathers forever. And Joseph saw that they were all accordant in goodness, one with another, and he could not refrain himself. And he told them that he was Joseph. And he conversed with them in the Ivrit tongue, and fell on their neck and wept. But they knew him not, and they began to weep. And he said unto them, Weep not over me, but hasten and bring my father to me. And you see that it is my mouth that speaks, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin see. For behold, this is the 2nd year of the famine, and there are still 5 years without harvest of the fruit of trees or plowing. Come down quickly, you and your households, so that you perish not through the famine. And do not be grieved for your possessions, for Yahuwah sent me before you to set things in order that many people might live. And tell my father that I am still alive. And you, behold, you see that Yahuwah has made me as a father to Pharaoh, and ruler over his house, and over all the land of Mitzrayim. And tell my father of all my glory, and all the riches and glory that Yahuwah has given me. And by the command of the mouth of Pharaoh, he gave them chariots and provisions for the way. And he gave them all many colored raiment and silver. And to their father he sent raiment and silver and 10 asses, which carried grain, and he sent them away. And they went up and told their father that Joseph was alive, was measuring out grain to all the nations of the earth, and that he was ruler over all the land of Mitzrayim. And their father did not believe it, for he was beside himself in his mind. But when he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent, the life of his ruach revived. And he said, It is enough for me if Joseph lives. I will go down and see him before I die. Chapter 44. And Yasharel took his journey from Haran, from his house on the new moon of the 3rd month, and he went on the way of the well of the oath, and he offered a sacrifice to the Elohim of his father Yitzhak on the 7th of this month. And Yaakov remembered the dream that he had seen at Bethel, and he feared to go down into Mitzrayim. And while he was thinking of sending word to Yosef to come to him, and that he would not go down, he remained there 7 days, if perchance he could see a vision as to whether he should remain or go down. And he celebrated the harvest feast of the first fruits with old grain, for in all the land of Canaan there was not a handful of seed in the land. For the famine was over all the beasts and cattle and birds, and also over man. And on the 16th Yahuwah appeared unto him, and said unto him, Yaakov, Yaakov. And he said, Here am I. And he said unto him, I am the Elohim of your fathers, the Elohim of Abraham and Yitzhak. Fear not to go down into Mitzrayim, for I will there make of you a great nation. I will go down with you, and I will bring you up again. And in this land shall you be buried, and Yosef shall put his hands upon your eyes. Fear not, go down into Mitzrayim. And his sons rose up, and his sons' sons, and they placed their father and their possessions upon wagons. And Yasharel rose up from the well of the oath on the 16th of this 3rd month. And he went to the land of Mitzrayim, and Yasharel sent Yehuda before him to his son Yosef to examine the land of Goshen. For Yosef had told his brothers that they should come and dwell there, that they might be near him. And this was the goodliest land in the land of Mitzrayim, and near to him for all of them, and also for the cattle. And these are the names of the sons of Yaakov who went into Mitzrayim with Yaakov their father, Reuben, the firstborn of Yasharel. And these are the names of his sons, Hanok, and Palu, and Hetzron, and Carmi, 5. Shimon and his sons. And these are the names of his sons, Yemuel, and Yamin, and Ohad, and Yakin, and Sokar, and Shaul, the son of Zephanathi, woman, 7. Levi and his sons, and these are the names of his sons, Gershon, and Kohath, and Merari, 4. Yehuda and his sons, and these are the names of his sons, Shelach, and Peretz, and Zerach, 4. Yishakar and his sons, and these are the names of his sons, Tola, Puah, and Yob, and Shimron, 5. Zebulun and his sons, and these are the names of his sons, Sered, and Elion, and Yachalel, 4. And these are the sons of Yaakov and their sons whom Leah bore to Yaakov in Aram Naharim, 6. And their one sister Dinah, and all the souls of the sons of Leah and their sons who went with Yaakov their father into Mitzrayim were 29, and Yaakov their father being with them, they were 30. And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's handmaid, the woman of Yaakov, who bore unto Yaakov Gad and Asher. And there are the names of their sons who went with him into Mitzrayim. The sons of Gad, Ziphon, and Hagi, and Shuni, and Etzbon, and Eri, and Areli, and Arbadi, 8. And the sons of Asher, Yimnah, and Yishva, and Yishvi, and Beriah, and Serach, their one sister, 6. All the souls were 14, and all those of Leah were 44. And the sons of Rachel, the woman of Yaakov, Yosef and Benjamin. And there were born to Yosef in Mitzrayim, before his father came into Mitzrayim, those with Asenath, daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bore unto him Manasseh and Ephraim, 3. And the sons of Benjamin, Bela, and Becher, and Ashbel, Gerah, and Naaman, and Ekhi, and Rosh, and Muppim, and Huppim, and Ard, 11. And all the souls of Rachel were 14. And the sons of Bilhah, the handmaid of Rachel, the woman of Yaakov, whom she bore to Yaakov, were Dan and Naphtali. And these are the names of their sons who went with them into Mitzrayim. And the sons of Dan were Shushim, and Semon, and Asudi, and Iyakah, and Salomon, 6. And they died the year in which they entered into Mitzrayim, and there was left to Dan Shushim alone. And these are the names of the sons of Naphtali: Yakseel, and Guni, and Yetzer, and Shalom, and Ib. And Ib, who was born unto the years of famine, died in Mitzrayim. And all the souls of Rachel were 26, and all the souls of Yaakov which went into Mitzrayim were 70 souls. These are his children, and his children's children, and all 70. But 5 died in Mitzrayim before Yosef, and had no children. And in the land of Canaan 2 sons of Yahudah died, and Onan, and they had no children. And the children of Yasharel buried those who perished, and they were reckoned among the 70 nations of the other nations. Chapter 45. And Yasharel went into the country of Mitzrayim, into the land of Goshen, on the new moon of the 4th month, in the 2nd year of the 3rd week of the 45th Jubilee. And Joseph went to meet his father Yaakov to the land of Goshen, and he fell on his father's neck and wept. And Yasharel said unto Joseph, Now let me die, since I have seen you. And now may Yahuwah Elohim of Yasharel be blessed, the Elohim of Abraham and the Elohim of Yitzchak, who has not withheld his mercy and his grace from his servant Yaakov. It is enough for me that I have seen your face, while I am yet alive. Yea, true is the vision which I saw at Bethel. Blessed be Yahuwah Elohai forever and ever, and blessed be his name. And Yosef and his brothers ate bread before their father, and drank wine, and Yaakov rejoiced with exceeding great joy, because he saw Yosef eating with his brothers, and drinking before him. And he blessed the Creator of all things, who had preserved him, and had preserved for him his 12 sons. And Yosef had given to his father and to his brothers as a gift the gift of dwelling in the land of Goshen, and in Ramses, and all the region round about, which he ruled over before Pharaoh. And Yasharel and his sons dwelt in the land of Goshen, the best part of the land of Mitzrayim. And Yasharel was 130 years old when he came into Mitzrayim. And Yosef nourished his father and his brethren, and also their possessions with bread, as much as sufficed them for the 7 years of the famine. And the land of Mitzrayim suffered by reason of the famine, and Yosef acquired all the land of Mitzrayim for Pharaoh in return for food. And he got possession of the people and their cattle and everything for Pharaoh. And the years of the famine were accomplished, and Yosef gave to the people in the land seed and food, that they might sow the land in the 8th year. For the river had overflowed all the land of Mitzrayim. For in the 7 years of the famine it had not overflowed, and had irrigated only a few places on the banks of the river. But now it overflowed, and the Mitzrayim sowed the land, and it bore much grain that year. And this was the 1st year of the 4th week of the 45th Jubilee. And Yosef took of the grain of the harvest in the 5th part for the king, and left 4 parts for them, for food and for seed. And Yosef made it an ordinance for the land of Mitzrayim until this day. And Yasharel lived in the land of Mitzrayim 17 years, and all the days which he lived were 3 jubilees, 147 years. And he died in the 4th year of the 5th week of the 45th Jubilee. And Yasharel blessed his sons before he died, and told them everything that would befall them in the land of Mitzrayim. And he made known to them what would come upon them in the last days, and blessed them, and gave to Yosef 2 portions in the land. And he slept with his fathers, and he was buried in the double cave in the land of Canaan, near Abraham his father, and the grave which he dug for himself in the double cave in the land of Hebron. And he gave all his Sepharim and the Sepharim of his fathers to Levi his son, that he might guard them and renew them for his children until this day. That is the end of chapter 45. Psalms, Tehilliym, chapter 55. To the chief musician, on Negina, Maskil, a mizmor of David. Give ear to my prayer, O Elohim, and hide not yourself from my supplication. Attend unto me and hear me. I mourn in my complaint, and make a noise, because of the voice of the enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked. For they cast iniquity upon me, and in wrath they hate me. My heart is sore pained within me, and the terrors of death are fallen upon me. Fearfulness and trembling have come upon me, and horror has overwhelmed me. And I said, Oh, that I had wings like a dove, for then would I fly away and be at rest. Lo, then would I wander far off, and remain in the wilderness, Selah. I would hasten my escape from the windy storm and tempest. Destroy, O Adonai, and divide their tongues, for I have seen violence and strife in the city. Day and night they go about it upon the walls thereof. Mischief also and sorrow are in the midst of it. Wickedness is in the midst thereof. Deceit and guile depart not from her streets. For it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I could have borne it. Neither was it he that hated me that did magnify himself against me. Then I would have hidden myself from him. But it was you, a man my equal, my guide, and my acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together, and walked into the house of Elohim in company. Let death seize upon them, and let them go down quick into Sheol, for wickedness is in their dwellings and among them. As for me, I will call upon Elohim, and Yahuwah shall save me. Evening and morning and at noon will I pray, and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. He has delivered my soul in peace from the battle that was against me, for there were many with me. El shall hear and afflict them, even he that abides of old, Selah. Because they have no changes, therefore they fear not Elohim. He has put forth his hands against such as he, be at peace with him. He has broken his covenant. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Cast your burden upon Yahuwah, and he shall sustain you. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. But you, O Elohim, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in you. Yes, I will trust in you, Father. I will trust in Yahuwah. Trust in Yahuwah, the Father. Trust in our Creator. Hallelujah. All praise and glory to the Most High Yah, in the name of the Son, Yahushua HaMashiach. I pray this reading is a blessing to you. Continue to study. Read the Word. Thank you for this time, Father. And thank you for following along. Yah willing, I will see you tomorrow. Shalom.